Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's out here getting high in elevation in Colorado, above the city over there, looking like something's burning. But I think we came upon some interesting things. First of all, I just noticed the stone circle, but it was kind of calling me from a distance with that sticking up and that triangular stone in the middle. You could just see it as you were walking up, and it stood out. So thought that was a good sign. And then right next to here, we're finding this X. There were a few sticks here. I don't know, could just be random drops. But that almost touching made me think twice about it, but not definitive on that. But that X is pretty clear. And then also right here, there's this snap stick, kind of aiming at this tin can top. Kind of just articles throughout time that have just found themselves here, combined with nature and shapes and just the pattern that you get with these things. So it is what it is, and we're just going around here and gonna go up and follow, the game trail and see what we can find. But pretty neat stuff, and that's a pattern that you recognize with them. So all right, I found this interesting piece of quartz in the crook of this tree. But it's a beautiful view right to iconic places in this state. That's Red Rocks Amphitheater over there, to give you an idea where I am. So even this beautiful tree standing right here, the dead one behind this little pine, it's just like timeless, sitting there with the beautiful red rock feature in the distance. And then you find this, which is cool. And then up the trail, there's a bit more interesting stuff concerning, possible use of fire, which is, I think it's more of a communication or ceremonial thing. I don't imagine they would be cooking on it, and I'm not sure it is them, but kind of an interesting spot. Old log sitting there on top of that rock, and a couple stones removed here. Just possible, but it's kind of a circle going on in here, and you can definitely see the fresh char. So that's just kind of cool. And it could be people, but in today's society, you're not really going to start a fire up here. And if you did, you'd dig something out. You wouldn't build it on a mound where an ember could just go flying away in the breeze. So rocks on top, I don't know, that's another aspect to it. But just observations, just interpretations, and that's what it is sometimes, just following the clues. And it's hit or miss, but you try to make correct claims with this stuff, and I think it's kind of an interesting aspect. It's a beautiful place up here. Now this is very interesting. You see these bones hung like this? That's very strange. With a piece of cactus freshly ripped out of the ground, wrapped around. This is a very compelling find to me. I'm astonished right now. I honestly thought they were fake bones when I saw them, that they almost looked so perfect that this was going to be a joke, but this is startling. This is very stunning. Wow. It is strange, is it not? I'm gonna have to get some pictures of this. I kid you not. That's even a heart-shaped cactus. Again, interpretations, but that is startling, and I think that is a great find. Great piece of evidence right there that you're not going to see every day. I've never seen this before. I don't have any fear right now, but I hope nobody does. I don't feel a sense of fear out of this. I feel an artistry, and I just want that to be known. My friends! Alright, check this out. Just following the trail, following the clues. Obvious circular pattern to these rocks. Not only that, a stick that's standing out of place, standing up to the test of time. Years old pine pitch on that thing. And they use it as a directional marker. So this is as far as me and my friend got before I'm like, let me start filming. We see this. Looks like maybe 2 feet, you know what I'm saying? The width of 2 feet is how we're interpreting this off the bat. Then, you know, we see the prints right here. If you look close enough, you can see it looks like a left and a right foot overlapping. So the big toe right here coming down. This is the outline, and then this big toe of the right foot. So that was pretty clear to me. And then Mike says, look up the hill. So we're going to go firsthand experience on the TP structure. Wow, what a glorious structure it is. Really, really happy that we went in here, because I kind of figured this is going to be their home. And this is just a wall of do not penetrate. I don't know what this is. Look at the bones here as well. Is that artistically placed? Well, I don't know about that, because there's some fresh chew right there. Sorry, I'm breathing heavy. I'm excited. But that is pretty compelling. Walking in between the places where people don't walk, where there is no trail, using the geography and walking the hardest way up the hill instead of traversing through the valleys and such, and then dropping down on these points, climbing up to them, whatever it is. It's just, it is pretty cool. Literally too, it is very cool in this valley. I want to be on the lookout for cougars, and that is no joke. I always give a yell and try to announce my presence. Call out to them in a friendly tone. very loudly and refer to them as my friends, because that's how I want to be interpreted by them. And again, hope I'm not invading their privacy, but this is a great find on what has been a great afternoon. Let's see, saw some boards or planks over here. Now here's another thing. Look at all the broken down pine here. I don't think that's a massive squirrel party or something. I mean, those are all busted off really high. I don't know, sometimes squirrels will gnaw on something like that and drop it off. But there is a lot in this area, a very large green circle, which could be an artistic expression by them, of them, for them. Just understanding the territory, looking at the topography as I contemplate where they are right now, as would any good detective that can't catch his suspect. Double break right there along the trail, game trail here. My water bottle's my only weapon right now. Might work though. Against a cougar if you banged it in the head hard enough a couple times. Unless he was really hungry. I'm not sure how good I taste. Don't want to find out. The bones though, just really cool markings, leavings. You know, where's the rest of the skeleton? Don't want to jinx myself, but I don't know. It's around, they're around, you know. Ooh, burst of cold air coming down that hill. And I got shorts on, so it feels good and bad. There's the spine right there. No, that's something else. Oh no, there is. So, wasn't too big of a guy. But there's some more leg bones right there. Having a breakthrough. And then you got a hoof right here. So that's good enough for me concerning the crime scene. But that's not what it is, but I'm just making a metaphor. Another detective joke, but awesome find. Really cool stuff. And that is a fresh kill. Don't kid yourself. There it is. There's like a raven out there and a wild turkey. I'm talking to both of them. Ah! That's the raven. Ah! Some turkeys over here. But communication with the birds. That's meaningful to me. Very interesting to hear them out there gobbling, reacting. But birds are pretty smart. Smart little creatures. Oh yeah, you are. They're survivors, that's for darn sure. But I think Sasquatch has a big reference for birds because, you know, maybe feathers were sacred to Native American cultures. Maybe the feathers mean things to the Bigfoot. And they may feel a certain way about the birds. You just think about that aspect of them. and what they think of the birds. Is it not just a meal to them, like a duck, you know, or a goose? Or how do they feel about the turkey, you know, as a sustenance staple of their culture? Or how does the Bigfoot feel about the eagle, which is wise and nearly untouchable to them? The hawk, for instance, soaring above the heads and the trees, just makes you wonder how they feel about all these different creatures. But that's food for them up there. So that's one more reason for them to be around. Just something to think about. One of the turkeys was just getting down over there. Yeah. I just wanted to show this. I'm so sorry. This is like a native prayer tree. I felt it because there was another one that was bent a little bit just down the hill, and Mike told me about him. I got a picture of me sitting on one at another location, and then that looks like that could be what that is. So not only that, really cool ancient artifact, so to speak. But down here there's a stone circle that looks purposeful and meaningful, not random. So a grouping, you know. So this was probably a sacred place for the natives, unless Bigfoot did this, but I think the tree is telling also. So it could, you know, there's aspects of both in the story that we're viewing here. Fresh break, mind you. All the green stuff on the ground. I mean, I don't know, could be squirrels chewing. I'm not saying it's not, but kind of random. There's some other fur. I want to go back and look at the prayer tree and get some pictures for myself. But sacred spot, good energy. It all comes with the rocks. It all comes with the landscape, with the vortices of the land, you could say. Maybe Bigfoot's really feeling that. Gotta respect it. Native Americans knew. Really cool. Really cool. Here's some more kill. Man, that's fresh. Dang. Pin that to the ground. Look at that. That is fresh. Could be mountain lions up here. Definitely easy hunting for them up here. But right by the Bigfoot structure, I would think Bigfoot's probably keeping them away. More bones. Twist in the tree on the ground. Look at that old pull tab beer can with the bullet holes in it. That's classic. What was it? Olympia. Talked to a girl from Washington State today. Very nice young lady. Just walking right through the heart of it. More bones. More bones. Can you imagine them? Family eating up here. Wow. Some heavy marks there. Not sure about that. More bones. More bones, more spine. Look at that. Multiple kills up here at this point. A lot of high snaps, you know. Huh. Look at all these broken off of here. Dang, dude. With a big X on the ground. Hey, look at this. They don't want you coming back here. I'm telling you. More bones on the ground around here. Scare people off. But look at that with the big X. Look at that. I think that is like a no trespassing sign for them. Like this seat's taken, you know what I'm saying? Leaving your hat in your seat. That's kind of like that right there. Leaving your jacket on your seat or something, trying to claim a spot. They're claiming a spot, in my opinion. Look at the bones with the beautiful rose quartz. Wow, that is beautiful. Wow, so all the removal of all those X doesn't even surprise me. But to be honest with you, the removal of all this is just like what's shocking. Somebody just went at it and had a workout, you know? Like, if you think I'm kidding, you know, that's kind of how I interpret that. Definitely need to respect these things. This could be a blind for them to look at this area from. Behind us, see this conglomerate of trees pulled over? It would make good back cover, and it has a lot of snappings up here behind it. So, could be what that is. Definitely a dark, quiet forest up here. And the places where the wild creatures reside. I've been in this area, but I've never explored this deeply up this hill. And I pretty much stayed on the trail because the sun was going down last time I was here. So today was a great day. Getting deep in it and seeing what's really out there. This is a well-established game trail right here. France! My friend. But really cool area. I mean, look how thick that is up there. They can just be hiding back there under that cover. And it would be hard to see unless they peeped up for a moment and you were looking in the right place at the right time. But I mean, this is it, you know, this is getting deep where people don't go, and this is really cool to be in here. Special place. I'll see if we go any further or what my friend wants to do. Yeah, this is not natural, I'll tell you that, but another cool find by Mike. Walking up this side of the ravine, I went directly up behind the structure, doubled back, and this is sitting on the hillside. Really cool. Whatever it is, whatever energy it creates, whatever reverence it has for the tree. Look how big that tree is. That's a big tall sucker. So, and it looks like a lot of the branches are busted off on this side, and this is underneath, but maybe they would climb up some of these nubs, get high up in this tree. Who knows? They could stand up there and hunt, jump right on a turkey from up there, but I don't know what they're doing, what it all means, why those are all ripped off all the way up on this particular side, all the way up to that big guy. But that's the case, and this is pretty apparent that it's not an event of nature. So loving it, thinking it's great, and so happy to have somebody else on the hunt with me. in this really awesome, amazing place with a lot of evidence. All right, check it out. We got some beautiful scenery here. And here it looks like there could be a trackway that was going through the snow at one time. Just goes all along here. And the trail's just down there, so it's not totally unfeasible that somebody could be walking up here, but that kind of looks like a big toe print to me. And then the best part of the whole potential trackway, which I don't know, if you see boot marks, let me know, but is these like frozen ones, which we stepped on here. Unfortunately, we were right next to. But here, could be people, I'm just saying. Like, look how it melted. Even with the big toe feature, like it melted with the big toe last because it made the deepest impression on the big toe. See that? You know, that's the melted version, the melted ice pad that was left. And here is the rest of them. But one there, I think that was a right. It's as big as mine. It's a size 13. As big as my shoe. It's about a foot long. And then another one right there, but almost looks like the gap between the toes on the edge and how it's melting there on that one. So it makes me think those are probably bare footprints, or I wouldn't be recording this at this time. But pretty interesting. That one might even have a mid-tarsal arch to it if you actually consider the entire melting process of what was left. That is fairly compelling. If you look at it with the arch in the middle, possibly. But that's a good one. That's good for the shape of it, and that's quite an impression left. So, let's see, if I were to step in the snow, I don't know if that step would actually make a huge impression. It would take some warmth, residual warmth, I would think, to melt that in order for it to freeze differently than the snow around it. So that's another aspect of this possibility, that this actually is a Sasquatch trackway coming down the game trail as we proceed up the hill to look at one last possible area.